Hello, it's me Axel. Before we are getting started, I want to make a disclaimer first and tell you about my English background, why I'm interested in English, and my method to learn English without studying. So I will give you a timestamps if you want to jump into the main part. If you don't know about me and who am I to tell you about learning English? I graduated in English education and English is not my primary language. I'm not a native speaker or second language learner. It's my foreign language. My family never taught me English, so I only get it from school and self-learning. Once my family brought me to the private English class, but I was mostly absent, only attend in 2 or 3 times, so it was discontinued. I took English from the first grade of elementary school. Until in senior high school, I took English and French as my foreign language. I was capable to comprehend the basic daily conversation in English, but struggling a lot with people who speak fast and finding difficulties in pronunciation because in school they only taught me about grammar and translation in text form, and the teaching method was very passive because we only read and listen so much. However, I didn't pay attention so much in grammar before entering the university, because in university you are expected to be professional and teaching the students. So in academic, I don't think grammar importance or matter. However, if it happens in daily life, I don't think grammar matters, because as long as the message are conveyed to the speaker, opposite speaker, and it's delivered well, I think that's the point of the conversation. And why I'm interested in English, because I think when you are learning English, it will give you a lot of privilege. Like there are a lot of contents and books only provided in English, so it will give you knowledge and insight which can give you new skill for your own benefit. Also giving you broaden aspect in career opportunities. And who knows, maybe your future partner are from abroad, which require you to speak English. Of course, it applies if you are single. Also, I was really struggling a lot in listening skill, and my motivation is to understand the whole context for what the opposite partner to speak about, and also to improve my accents, especially if you are dealing with native speaker like Adele.
And I was like, there was only a little curtain separating us while she was having her makeup done, and I started like going, I don't think I can do this, I don't think I can do this, and she would have heard it all. And then she popped out, so I put on a brave face. But the second time I went out on a balcony and got on my hands and knees and cried.
Here we go, the method that I use to learn English without studying. Tips number 1. Consume media in English, including to set your phone setting into English language. I was very interested to consume English content since I was kindergarten, especially games. I played a lot of role-playing games which have a rich of storylines, so I learned a lot of vocabulary from there unconsciously. But you don't have to be a gamer like what I was if not worth your time, especially if you already have a job. There are still a lot of English content that you can enjoy without feeling stressed or burdened. Alternatively, you may read news or article in English. Once you have habits for reading, try move on to the next level like novels and books. And listen to the music, of course with English lyrics. For me personally, I like screamo or screaming hardcore, like metalcore. I know a lot of people don't like it, but if you understand the meaning of the lyrics, it has good of literature to understand. But at the end of the day, it depends on you. You can still use another genre that is suitable for your taste, but in English. And then try to sing it in karaoke, because it also involves the pronunciation and speaking skill. It's really easy because you can do it while doing multitask, while doing your job or something, doing your homework or whatever activities it might be. Tip number 2. Watch movie without subtitle. One of the main goals for me to learn English is watching movie without subtitle, because it hits different if you are watching the movie without distracted by the text. You can grasp the whole atmosphere and whole cinematic in there. Trust me, it gives you a whole new experience. So just try to watch the movie without subtitle. You can watch and choose the movie whatever you want, as long as it's in English. Also, do it every single day. If you're still having difficulties to watch it without subtitle, it's okay. You can watch it with subtitle until you get used with English or what they are saying. So once you already understand it, just try new challenge without subtitle. Tip number 3. Find people who have accent like British, Australian or American. Find podcast or person whatever you like and compare them until you get used with their accents. Once you get used with their accent, I guarantee you that you can understand what they are saying without even trying, or effortlessly. Why must it be English, British, Australian or American, not the other accents? I'm not saying that the other accents are bad, but if you want to try improve your English, I think those 3 accents are like the standard for you to learn. They also use different words for certain terms, like when in American they say store, while in British English they say shop. In American they say pants, in British English they say trouser. Some people still use the old English like water. They say water. They don't pronounce the T sound, when in modern English it's water, 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 water.
Get some water? Don't you mean a bottle of water?
Tip number 4. Find a person who is willing to speak English with you. What's the point if you learn something but you don't apply it in real life? You will be likely to forget for what you have learned for. You can ask your friends who are able to speak English with you, whether it's offline or online. It's up to you, because having quick feedback from your conversation partner can improve your communication in English significantly. Also, when the mistake is done, you will get an immediate response to fix it. Having brainstorming every day will create neuron or memory to access your English daily words, which are frequently used, will be easier. So if you don't have a friend who is speaking English, you can find it online. There are a lot of platforms that is potential to use, right? Just maximize the potential. Tip number 5. Try to use your English brain. What I mean by English brain is try to act or think like a native speaker. I'm not a native speaker, but I try not to translate word by word in my mind. Just like try to speak it anyway without trying to translate every word from your mother tongue. I know it's not easy at first, but just try to have such mindset first is already a progress. You just need to get used with it anyway, just like spontaneously. Once you get that habit, it's also related to brainstorming that I mentioned before. You will be easier to speak English effortlessly without trying to translate word by word. Tip number 6. Be consistent and do it every day at least 1 year. Make them as your habits first and you will see significant progress with your English skill. So the main key here is habit. As long as you have will to learn English, I think no matter how hard it is, it will be no obstacle for you to learn it. Once your English is getting better, you can try to test your skill here. I think that's all from me. Disclaimer first, the methods that I mentioned before are based from my experience and is not scientifically proven. But if you want the science-based method, I will give you in the next video. If you find this helpful, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel because I will talk a lot about language in my next videos. Bye!